is Mission Control in Houston. Please call the station. JAXA, this is Mission Control. Please call the station for a voice check.
Station, this is JAXA BAO. How do you hear me?
I read you loud and clear. よく聞こえます。
Thank you very much. This is Sasaki, JAXA PAO. Thank you for waiting, everyone. We'd like to begin the news conference. So, the astronaut Furukawa is going to give us an opening remarks. Dr. Furukawa, please.
ご紹介ありがとうございます。本日は皆様お忙しい中お集まりくださりありがとうございます。
Thank you for your introduction, and thank you for taking your time out of your busy schedule to join this news conference. On February 20th, my cumulative time in space has reached 167 days. Well, it exceeded 167 days. Now it has reached 178 days. And throughout this period, well, thank you very much for your support. And during this mission, I have been working under the key message of my mission that because there are the answers that can only be found in space. And in this microgravity, we can benefit the life on Earth. For example, the cell gravity sensing, that experiment was conducted. The samples have been brought back to Earth, and I heard that samples are being analyzed. And also, for the new drug development, the protein formation was also investigated. And also, utilizing the microgravity environment, space organogenesis, after I return to Earth, this experiment is going to start. So I worked to install the automatic solution replacement equipment in collaboration with the ground team. The second pillar of my mission is to use Kibo as a test bed for the future lunar exploration, technological demonstrations. And I inherited this from Hoshide and Wakata astronauts, that is the water recovery system. I was able to complete this experiment. I took the samples and I could complete this experiment. And INTBall 2, as for this INTBall 2, based on the first model of INTBall 2, INTBall 1, and with INTBall 2, we could achieve the technology to automatically dock and release this INTBall with charging port. I feel that we are making great progress in eliminating workload for astronauts. And we also conducted flare experiment. And I installed the experiment equipment and also confirmed functions together with the ground team. The third pillar is to involve and accelerate the participation of a private sector using airlock and robot arm. And I worked on the deployment of nanosatellites for the private sector. Throughout my stay in space, we could make a steady progress in advancing experiments using Kibo and also conduct the experiment for the future space explorations. And I have done my work with these determinations. And I also had an opportunity to have communication events with many people from elementary school pupils to adults, and I'm very grateful for that. The Crew 7 consists of members from different countries, and we are an international team. And we bring space food of our countries, share them among ourselves. And the last 6 months has been very memorable experience for me. Going forward, I'd like to make the best use of the Kibo module and involve many private sector people and researchers so that we can make contribution to the sustainable society and expand the spheres of activities of mankind to Mars, to Moon, Mars, and beyond. And it's quite important for us to make contribution to that purpose. I'm in the sort of to speak in the home stretch, and around 2025. Astronaut Yui and astronaut Onishi are now taking training for the mission in 2025, and I'd like to pass the torch to them.
And thank you very much, Astronaut Furukawa. Now we'd like to proceed to Q&A. We'd like each one of you to ask questions one by one. On behalf of the MEX Press Club, I'm Namatame from Asahi, and I'd like to ask 3 questions. The first question, well, given your age, you have suggested that this will probably be your last mission in space. So are there any things that you think you'll miss? And also, how will you spend the remainder of your stay out in space?
ご質問ありがとうございます。名残惜しいという点はまさにご指摘の通りで、もし
Thank you for the question. Yes, in terms of missing space, I think you're right in saying so. I have grown accustomed to living and working in space, so if possible, I would like to stay longer and continue my work here. Bittersweet moment is an English expression which really describes my feeling. But I'm on a business trip, and therefore I have to focus on doing the remainder of my work. And the next crew will be coming on the Crew Dragon, and once they arrive, I will be returning to Earth. And at that time, I'll switch from a long stay ISS mode to dynamic mode. I'll be returning to Earth. So it will be my first time to land on water. So I'm looking forward to that experience.
Next question, the second question. Well, in this mission, you conducted experiments and also interacted with Turkey's first astronaut and other crew members. Could you share some of the memorable experience you had with us?
ありがとうございます。トルコ初の宇宙飛行士を含むアクシオムスペース社主導による
Thank you for your question. The Turkey's first astronaut and Axiom Space-led commercial spaceflight mission crew, we were able to welcome them, and it was very lively and very happy the event experience. And on the International Space Station, there are many equipment and materials. They are verified on Earth, but when they are launched to the International Space Station in microgravity, it's sometimes difficult to fix such things on the International Space Station. For example, when you put something on the desk, it may move on the desk, but it's very stable vertically, but in the microgravity, the things could move vertically even in space. Like that could be fixed by magic tape, but some equipment cannot be suitable for using such magic tape. So we have to fix the equipment apparatus very firmly, but it's difficult to fix them. And so we run into such difficulties sometimes. But I have a great teammate on the ground. Even if we run across problems, they grasp more information, so we can communicate and report on the problem to the ground team. And I can make proposals to the ground staff, and we can exchange opinions and views in solving such problems. So we have been overcoming such difficulties. It has been a very memorable experience for me.
And this is my last question. Well, as one of your ambitions for this year, you have said that you want to contribute to space business using your experience. Are there any space business sectors that you're interested in or any plans you have in mind?
ありがとうございます。年末年始に宇宙ステーションと地上をつないで
Well, thank you very much. Well, around the New Year period, I was connected with the ground where there was an event led by the private sector. I appeared in that program and greeted the Japanese audience. Other than that, well, I cannot give you the details, I'm afraid, but both inside and outside Kibo, there have been various missions conducted for private use. And I think that more and more private companies are using Kibo. And the fact that Japanese companies are trying to engage in space business is very encouraging. As I answered in the previous answer, in this microgravity environment, things that are different from the ground environment often occur. And in this environment, trying to achieve the goals that have been set out by the private sector is something that I am trying to do. And if possible, I would like to, in the future, from the ground, to support the private sector in trying to make use of this space environment. And I think it's symbolic that a private mission was use the Crew Dragon to come to ISS. And these amateur and private sector astronauts came to ISS. So I think that this is quite symbolic that space business is succeeding. And for such people, if there is such an opportunity, I must say, that I would like to assist in trying to explain how to use your body and to work in outer space and what changes, the physical exchanges, people should be expecting.
My name is Akane Akari, freelance writer. Dr. Furukawa, you said that the astronauts grow taller or become a moon-faced. You post such things on the SNS, social media. So what was the most surprising change about your own body? Tell me why you think that occurred.
ご質問ありがとうございます。無重力環境では地上の無重力環境では
Thank you for your question.
に行っていた血液や組織液が
In zero gravity,
シフトが起こります。それによって
in the blood or fluid shift to the upper part of your body. The body fluid shift occurs. So during the mission in space, my lower part of body shrunk, and my waist size has reduced by 4 to 5 centimeters, and my chest size I thought increased, but actually my chest size has been reduced. And the hypothesis I have for that is that the fluid to the brain increased, and because of that, the body made a judgment that there's too much fluid. So in the lower part of my body, the fluid and blood decreased and the body fluid shift occurred. So that's why the size of the thigh was reduced and the chest size has increased. has reduced, and I lost my weight by 3 kilometers. That's the same as the last time. That was because of the loss of the fluid and body fluid and blood. That's my hypothesis.
Thank you. We have run out of time. So once again, please say last few words to the audience here.
皆様、本日お忙しい中ありがとうございました。そして日本の皆様、温かい応援をくださり感謝申し上げます。
Thank you very much for taking time today, and to the people in Japan. I'm very grateful to the warm support that you're extending to me.
それから、ゆい、大西、金井飛行士、
in the last stretch, I want to work hard, and Yui, Onishi, Kanai, and also Kaneda, Sua, the trainees. I would like to communicate to them my experience so that they can work hard here. Thank you. Thank you. And thank you to the viewers and the press here. And of course, thank you to Astronaut Furukawa. With this, we would like to conclude the press event. Thank you.
Station, this is Houston ACR. That concludes the event. Thank you.
Thank you to all the participants. For the station, we will now resume operational space-to-ground communication.